It's on.
So we're good to go?
We are ready.
All right. Hello, Meredith, drummer of Victims.
Yo, what's going on for the second time?
I know the first time I was so excited to talk to you, and we talked and had such a good conversation.
And then it just got deleted.
We lost all of it. I was so depressed for like a week, and Paul was like, "You'll be fine. Like, she's gonna do it again. Like, we'll be
Yeah,
fine."
dude. The schedule thing, I was like, I gotta do a bunch of stuff, but we're good now.
I think today is like the perfect time to do it because now you've released 2 singles since we've talked to you. One of which being a Chiodos cover,
which is fucking phenomenal, by the way.
Thank you.
It's already entered my on repeat list on Spotify, just so you know.
Jesus. Hell yeah, though.
And you just announced a show, so like we have so much to talk about.
I know. Yeah, now we have more, so it's like a blessing in disguise.
So I wanted, first thing I wanted to ask you about was what made you guys choose Chiodos in that song? Because like I feel like that's such a ballsy song to take on because the first one like is cemented in emo nostalgia. Like
I know.
Were you scared like going into that?
Well, honestly, we have a few other surprises besides that, so that's not the only special cover that we have in our arsenal, so we're gonna give you that. But the intention of that was like Chiodos was one of those bands that we just kind of like grew up on. And, like, I feel like we always get called an emo band. So, like, dude, let's do an emo cover. Let's do something that nobody would expect the Victims to do. And that was Chiodos. Like, no one was like, we said tomorrow, dropping something, you won't expect it. And it's like, this is what every band says. I'm like, no, like, you're not going to expect this.
I made Paul share me, like, because I don't have Spotify, so I made him like get its family plan so I could get on it just to play the song. Like 100%.
Oh my God,
absolutely.
dude.
It's so good. And when I saw that that's what you guys were doing, I was like, man, they either had to do a really good job on this or it's going to be like that perfect, like just like the original. And you guys put your own twist on it and did it so fucking good. Like,
thank you.
It blew my mind.
For real.
Y'all kill. And you're singing. Oh, amazing.
Thank you. I was more worried about me like singing on it because I was like, how can we take this song and not make it Chiodos? Because obviously that's such a, you hear that riff and you're like, you're jamming, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
So like, I don't know.
I don't know how many times.
To change it up.
I don't know how many times I've listened to that song when I was like, just got my license in my piece of shit $300 car, and like, yeah, just jam this song, and like, you guys did so well, and that breakdown, right? You know, usually with like the synth come in, you guys killed it. Like, it was so good.
Thank you.
Was it your idea to do that one?
Yeah, it was my idea. Usually I have the bop or flop ideas. It's usually like, Meredith, that was a terrible idea. We shouldn't have done that. Like the Down with the Sickness cover that we did.
I don't think I ever heard that.
Well, it's not great. And that was my idea. So I'm like, okay, well, you know, we'll take the fall that time.
I feel that though, because I'm the same way. Like, you either have a really good idea or it's the worst idea ever.
Yeah,
there's no in between.
You're experimenting. It's all about that risk.
Absolutely. And you guys, like, we talked about it last time, but there's no evidence of it. So, you know, like, you guys started off completely different. We're considered like a sworn-in mock band.
No.
And now you guys are like paving the way almost for like this new genre. Like, you guys have such a unique sound, and like listening to Spotify and bands that after you come on like my playlist, like it's so crazy. Now I'm saying like, well, they sound like Victims. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy like about that because we always, you know, we've gotten that similar comparisons to bands like Youth. I feel like Youth we've been like compared to or whatever, but since they haven't been a band for like a long time, we've kind of like expanded on that sound and tried to make it more of our own. And then it's like, it is crazy because I hear bands that came after us like 2 years and they kind of sound similar to us. But I feel like I can't say that because people are going to be like, oh, well, no, they just sound like Youth. It's like, okay, bro. Some of these people don't even know who that band is anymore, which is crazy to me, but
No, so the covers that I have heard are just absolutely blow my mind because it's like you guys try to stay in that original format of how it was made, and then you like splice yourself in there in certain spots, and like it just the especially with that Chiodos cover, it was done beautifully.
Thank you.
The Slipknot one was good too. So
Slipknot one's on my playlist. Listen to it at least once a day in the studio.
Well, we did that, what, 2 years?
Yeah,
2 years ago.
about
2 years
two.
ago.
I feel like covers are such a hard thing to do anyways, but like you said, you're learning how to do them in your own way. So like it's an experience. So yeah, maybe that one Down with the Sickness one sucked, but like the Linkin Park one, like you kind of started to get your own vibe into it. And then like this one was amazing. So like I'm super excited to hear.
Yeah, no,
We're-
like hearing the vocal tones and everything, you guys slayed on that one.
I was gonna say we're gonna just end up being a cover band.
Hardcore cover band.
It's like,
but
okay, guys.
Just like that, but at the same aspect, that new single that you guys released of your own stuff is amazing. To me, it's top tier bracket stuff.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Like I can't wait to see once COVID actually frees up and you guys can get on some major tours.
Hopefully, that's always the goal, man. Like, you never know. It's just being still like independent and me doing everything. I know that I don't really have that, like, let's say that pull on my own. And so I would love to somehow like manage a team together eventually, but we'll see. I'm hoping that Volume 4 kind of opens different doors for us as a band and everything, but
I
who
think
knows?
you guys hopping on that Slipknot Fest definitely boost your chances of making that more of a reality than you think. Honestly,
That would be insane, dude.
like
I'll just quit after that.
Every single that you guys have released from Volume 4 has been like, it's produced so well. It sounds good. It's so well thought out through. Like, I feel like you guys really took your time on this and really put it together well. Like almost kind of like a concept album.
Thank you. Yeah, we started writing this after literally right after Volume 3, so that was 2018. And then we finished it last year, and we were going to drop it last year, but with COVID, it just felt like that was a stupid idea. And that if we dropped it and not played any show whatsoever on it, we would be scrapping a whole album's worth of material.
Yeah, you're just destroying a whole tour cycle.
Yeah.
so the singles are like the good fillers, You're keeping people hanging on by a thread, and it's working.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what we were trying to do. We did this Falsifier split kind of for fun.
It was good too.
And thank you. It was very heavy. It's different from us as well, but we did that, and we dropped like the acoustic EP. That was kind of just filler. And then we did 2 singles. We did like 2 other singles, but I was like, well, I don't know what else we're supposed to do, Like usually you have a song and you're like, oh cool, now we're announcing a tour and we're gonna play that song on tour and it's gonna get like spread around more. But it's like now releases are so what's the word? They need the internet. They need the internet in order to survive. So it's like
You need the eyes,
Yeah, which is rough. It's like hard unless you're putting like X amount of money into like a proper marketing budget or you have the right person marketing it for you. It's like,
and that's just such a beast in itself.
Yeah, it really is.
It's so hard because then, yeah, it's nice to get it in front of people's eyes, but like you need to get it in front of the right people's eyes. Like it's not easy to do that.
No.
But you guys killed it, and like you guys like your merch stuff that you guys drop, like it seems like every 2 weeks now, but I'm just seeing it more. But like
no, it is like every 2 to 3 weeks at this point. It's just kind of we want to just
bear?
Drop something and have something to drop. A bear.
I don't think that's him. But no, yeah, you guys, they're good. They're good designs too. Like I just got my Mew shirt the other day. We got we got the Pokemon card hanging up in our studio.
Nice.
Pretty soon the Volume 4 album will be up on the wall too. So
yeah, we just got those in. There's like 20 boxes of vinyl that arrived at my house, and I was like, okay, this is a little stressful because I'm not shipping it until 2 months, but I didn't want people to wait because Volume 3 got delayed. And so I was like, that can't happen for this new run, like the new record. So I already have all the variants.
So what
Just
happened? What
at my
happened
house.
with that with the volumes 3? Because I did see that, and it was pushed back a while, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it was supposed to come in November.
He made it. I knew it was him.
And instead of November, it came in March.
That's
And-
quite a.
And I was like, well, shit. Like, because of COVID, backed all these releases up, like Spite, Under Oath, like Dance Gavin Dance. A lot of, like, huge bands. Like, every vinyl company was just backed up due to COVID and, like, low employees working there. So it's like, man, I put vinyl in at the wrong time. Like, people kept asking for it. So it's like, oh, we're going to do vinyl. And I think that almost, like, shot us in the foot because people were like, oh, I'm probably not going to buy from this band again because it took so long to ship out, you know?
That's-
And I was like, I hope that's not the case. Like, it's still going well, but I'm sure some people were like, this took so long that, like, you know, it's hard to want to buy again.
Did you have any problems with like your merch drops and stuff too with getting clothing? Because we're facing that problem now.
We did. It depends. See, if you do black, like hoodies, those were like impossible to get at a certain point.
Yep.
And so I was like, well, you know how we do. We always do like colors and stuff like that. Thankfully, we started doing that a while ago, so we didn't have to rely on getting black. But Independent was sold out, Champion was sold out, Gildan was sold out. It's like, okay.
That's why In Bloom struggled so hard last year. Like
Yeah.
around September, from like March to now, basically, it's been terrible finding any garment.
Well, now I think people are buying up the garments again.
Well, because everybody's going on tour.
Yeah,
everything,
and they're
so-
planning ahead, and now these companies, they are like on back order or this and that, and it's like
Yeah.
stress.
It's-
Stress.
It's crazy. So the next thing is your show, July 10th.
Yeah, finally.
So who's on that bill?
Wait, when is this going out?
Well, so that's the thing is we have a couple episodes we can drop before this. So if you want, we can hold on to this one for a little bit.
You're looking at like 3 weeks. We can hold on to it right now.
Yeah.
Okay, well, in that case, right now, I'm not even gonna say it. No, it's just they're gonna find out when they find out. There is a band called From Texas coming out though. I will everyone warn that, and they're hard, bro. They're hard. They're like one of our good friends now, so they're coming out. We might be getting this band from Michigan who's pretty hard, and then we might be getting this band from the way back in the day coming on the show. I don't know. Oh, yeah, that kind of vibe. So it's going to be kind of everywhere. Like, it's going to have the old, new, and it's going to have a few people from out of state just to kind of make it a more interesting lineup. But
I think it's going to be interesting to begin with because the hardcore shows.
A
have been,
show.
like- yeah,
A
yeah.
show.
And like hardcore metal shows have been non-existent at all. Like they've done the EDM drive-ins, but like no metal band has really approached the like the drive-in shows, and like that whole. It's just kind of everybody's been sitting on music and just waiting.
I know, and I almost feel like the show, it's like it might be a little too early. Like that's definitely a worry of mine, but our record literally drops July 9th. So I was like, we have to, if we're doing a show on this record, we got to do it in the week that it comes out.
Yeah.
So like, you know, even if
So
we
the
have to
day
do the
after.
rules, yeah. Even if we have to do like a few more rules or this and that, it's gonna be a different kind of vibe. At least people can hear music again.
Yeah.
You know? And I want everyone to feel safe and be safe. So we're gonna try our best to make it like not just a, you know, a fuck all kind of event. But I know it's gonna be stressful, but it's gonna be fun.
It will be. I 100%. Like I'm proud of you for throwing it on. And like, did you have problems? Like, obviously with Chicago is one of like the strictest on the lockdown rules and everything. They're letting up now, but like, are you having problems, or like, is the venue having problems with anything, or?
So it's not even problems. We just made sure we're gonna have rules in place. So like anyone with 100-degree fever can't come in. Like, you know, if you go to a restaurant now, you get temp checks, at least here. And then the capacity is going to be like 20 to 30%. Right now, we're looking at 20%. I don't know if it's going to change and like go to 30 or whatnot, but right now it's like hard capped at 20%. You have to wear a mask. And for our show, we're saying if you are vaccinated, bring your vaccine card just to be like, safe. But if you're not, then you're going to have to get COVID tested like within 3 days of the show. Unfortunately, that's just like how it's going to have to be. Because otherwise, if you don't have any kind of rules in place, it's just going to be an issue. I don't want to get a bunch of people sick either, you know what I mean? So
the big problem with that too is we've talked and discussed this so much, is that it's so much as like, oh, they're taking away freedoms. It's like, everybody's just trying to get back to normal.
Exactly.
And, this is just what we have to do to get back to normal right now. Like, it just makes everyone happy. Like, if it's still going on a couple of years from now,
yeah, that's a different thing.
Yeah, but like, everybody's stuff still isn't open up all the way. So like, I think you're taking the right approach to it. I really do.
Oh, thank you. I know that, what was I going to say? Oh my God. Just like be respectful of like people's boundaries and the way they think or feel. Like if you think it's not safe to go to a show, don't come. Like, that's just my opinion. If you don't feel safe enough to come out, then just don't go.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a staple should be anyway, And
I think now it's just at this point, things are going to go back, not to normal, but we're going to have to push for that anyway.
Yeah.
Like somebody's going to have to do it.
Yeah.
And I feel like our show is one of the first like shows in our area that got announced for like July. So I'm like, okay, we'll see how this goes. We'll be the test dummies, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's you guys really are. Like, honestly, you announced a show while people are canceling shows in July, and stuff is getting pushed back. So I really do hope it goes so well. We will be there, so I hope.
Oh, hey. We're all like, I hope it goes well next time.
I think it would be good. So are you doing all the fucking everything for the show? Like, do you have a team working, or is it like you pick the venue and you're doing everything behind the scenes, or how does that work?
So this time we're doing it at like a more legit venue. It's called WC Social. It's in West Chicago. And Chris Treves, the guy who used to run Mojo's, actually owns this venue now.
No shit.
So he has a staff in place, and he's going to have everything ready to go. And so it's not going to be like a huge deal.
I always liked Chris. I always loved Mojo's too. So
Chris is cool.
I didn't even know he was still like in the game.
I know. I feel like people don't know. Well, I mean, there's been no shows and shit. So, you used to see Amir and Gideon at Mojo's, or Acacia Strain, Die Artist Murder. I just remember all the big shows were at Mojo's. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. It was. I remember way back in the day, the first time we ever played there as a local band, and the stage looks so big when you're not on it, and then you get on it, and we had
it's tiny. Yeah.
So we were like, all right, this is fun.
There's no room.
Yeah, it was so nice. There's pictures of me drumming on that stage because it was such a highlight of my life. We didn't go anywhere, but just to play at Mojo's, like you said, we saw Born of Osiris there, Thyar, Chelsea Grin, The Ghost Inside, Attila, everybody that was anybody played at Mojo's, and it was just
the All Stars tour.
Oh my God, yeah, yeah, I literally just named them all.
Oh,
it was great though. That place is forever probably one of my favorite venues.
That
Same.
Place always have a place in my heart for sure.
Dude, I saw that. Were you guys at the Counterparts? It was Expire.
Being as an Ocean.
Yeah, dude.
I was there.
That show was fucking sick. That was
when old boy
6 years ago. Yes, at the Terror. The Terror was there. Terror played too.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. That show was insane.
I'm just so excited for that hardcore scene to come back because I feel like all these kids are ready. They're ready to do that again.
Well, you guys probably saw that Mad Bull show, right? The Mad Ball show in New York. Nobody saw that?
No.
It was 3,000 people packed in outside for a show, and it didn't go well. It was like packed, but they had to they like took away one of the licenses for New York to like hold shows at that park now, and
Ooh.
because it wasn't like they didn't run it by the state, I guess, and I was like, all right, well.
And then, there's places like Florida that just had a UFC event with like 15,000 people in an arena.
and the MGK show is like sold out, and no one. Yeah, I don't know.
It's crazy. It's really weird to see, like, we're so close, but like everything is so different everywhere.
Yeah, it's like the South is just a whole different country, and like, okay.
Literally, it's like where we split down the middle from the South. No one just gives a fuck out there.
Dude, they're like, what's COVID? And we're all like,
Yeah.
We're
So,
dying.
I don't know.
you had COVID, right?
Twice.
Oh, shit.
Fucking, I had COVID twice. And I did all the rules. I stayed in. I did all that. Not mumbo jumbo, but I still got it.
So how did I know with your sickness, how did that go?
The first time was a lot worse than the second time. I don't know if I, built some kind of immunity or I have a different strain than the first time, whatever. But the second time wasn't as bad. I was down with a fever for like a week. I lost like 7 pounds, and then like, I was very tired, but I still had my taste and smell both times. That never went away. But the first time I got it, I never got to get tested for it. But I know that I had it because the second time I had it, I got tested. I got tested twice, positive. I've never gotten tested for it, and bam, positive. Boom, again, positive. So I'm like, I knew it. I was in the car when I got the test. I'm like, I know I have this fucking COVID shit. And sure enough, I got it like 15 minutes later. It's like, you have tested positive for COVID-19. And I was like, okay, so this was more mild. I know that I had it last year because that was way worse.
Yeah.
And it was like the same symptoms, just more severe. So I don't know. It's crazy. I was going to go to the hospital the first time because my oxygen levels were dipping and stuff. And I couldn't even go to the hospital because they said, well, if you weren't, like, if you don't actually have COVID, they couldn't even test me.
Wow.
They had no available tests. You had to go through, like, you have to test for pneumonia first, then the flu, then this and that, and then you can test for COVID. I was like,
You just never mind.
okay. It's like, I'll find out I have COVID, like, after I've recovered from it. It's like, cool, that's useless.
Yeah, that serves no purpose.
Yeah.
It's been so wild. I'm just excited for some stuff to start getting back to normal. And with you guys announcing shows, like, it seems like it's getting there. Slowly but surely.
Yeah, slow and steady wins the race, I say.
So, also speaking of sickness, May is Cystic Fibrosis Month. Did I pronounce
Yes.
it right?
Yes.
And you made the video, and I wanted to like, if you want to talk about it, I just wanted to give you like a quick 2-3 minutes.
A quick rundown.
Yeah. Because I think it is important, and like your story is extremely inspiring because you don't let it bring you down. Like, you guys are one of the biggest Chicago bands in recent years, and like, here you are with this disease that has no cure, and I think it's such an inspiring thing that like people should hear about. I think it's awesome that you're still out there kicking ass.
Thank you, man, for real. Like that, I say thank you a lot because I never really know what else to say, So it's people like, oh, all you do is say thank you. It's like, you don't actually mean it. It's like, I do. I don't know what else to say. It's like you're at a loss for words sometimes. But yeah, May is like cystic fibrosis, like awareness month, and I touched on it briefly, but basically it brings a bunch of mucus in your pancreas and other organs in your body, and especially your lungs. So I'm doing all these breathing treatments to kind of loosen that mucus so it doesn't create infections that lead me to go into like hospital or could lead to death. Hopefully that's never going to happen, but they're just things that you kind of have to be responsible for that people just never really knew about, But yeah, I've had my condition my whole life. I've been born with it. Trying to think, you can't go by people that have CF. Like, you can't be next to someone else that has CF, and that's why I started talking about it more. Because if I go to a show and I run into someone with CF for some reason, I can get really sick. Like, we both can get really sick from that.
Really? So, like, how does that happen?
They say it's like an exposure thing. It's hold on. I've never obviously had that happen to me, but someone actually from the scene, after I released the video, said that she also had CF, and she used to see me at shows. I was like, what the hell? And she went to the same doctor as me too. So it's like, that's weird, I never knew that. But cystic fibrosis exposure.
Crazy. So it's not like you're gonna go around screaming that you have cystic fibrosis and anyone in the room. I don't know, that's wild to me. It's also a very rare disease though, isn't it?
Yeah. Honestly, it's way less than 1% that has this condition.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's in the thousands. So you think of people with I want to say diabetes. I feel like there's probably millions of people possibly with diabetes, but cystic fibrosis has 100,000 people or something with it, which is not that much.
Not at all.
No. Well, okay. I figured out. So it's a cross infection at events. People with cystic fibrosis should never meet each other because they carry different bacteria within their lungs that could be harmful to one another.
Ah.
So I was right. That's what I say. It's not good. It's
crazy. You better
COVID to COVID.
You better hope you never fall in love with a person with cystic fibrosis.
Probably not. That's what that 5 Feet Apart movie's about. But
is it really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
With Cole Sprouse.
No shit.
Yeah.
Huh. That's crazy. I never even knew that movie existed.
Yeah, no. There's some parts in it that I'm like, okay. What? No. They were all going in the pool in the hospital. It's okay, dude, you're just unsupervised going around the hospital and you're gonna go in a pool. I don't know. Some of it's okay. Unrealistic, but
yeah. So we talked about it again on the last one, but we lost it all. Our bad. How hard is it to tour with cystic fibrosis?
So the touring part, would not recommend.
just don't. Just don't.
No, but no, just joking. But it's definitely something that you have to make everyone in your band super aware. And I see you vaping over there. I can't handle even vape in the van anymore. I've noticed that it makes me cough super, super bad. So no one could smoke in the van after tours because it's just physically and mentally draining. I usually end up with a lung infection and I go to the hospital sometimes, but most of the time I'll go on an antiviral antibiotic because I just get so sick afterwards. But it's just trying to keep my medications cold is a very, very hard part, especially if you're touring in the summertime. You're touring in the West Coast or down south where it's 90 to 100 degrees and the sun's just beating on your van. And if you're playing an outside show, which we've ran into this before, there was no place for me to put this medication. So it ended up just getting warm. And when it gets warm, it gets defective. Ugh. So I'm pretty sure because of that show, the rest of the tour I felt pretty miserable, and I'm pretty sure that's because my medication got defective. So it's you don't know it's not working because you're still gonna do it.
Yeah.
But you just don't feel right afterwards. So it's something, but it just with touring, I can't even bring off my drums offset. I need help because I'm just after a set I'm just way too tired and I can't breathe and that's not even an exaggeration. It's I'm like hyperventilating almost, and so people would try to like come up to me or this and that, and I'll be like, I can't, and I probably have come off rude on accident because of that, because I physically I can't even breathe. So like Ryan and John will like help me move my stuff, or like other people in the package, which I'm also like very grateful for. But it just sucks because I always have to tell people like, hey, I have this. I can't play in a venue with smoking in it. If I do, it's going to be a very, very bad time. And I have done it several times because some people just won't curve it, especially when you go to like Texas or Florida and stuff like that, and they still have people smoking in venues for some reason. And they won't curve it. And I'll have to sit outside for most of the show and play and then dip again.
Yeah.
So it's just like certain things like that that makes it just difficult.
You're such a high energy drummer too. Like you are so entertaining to watch drum. Like it's crazy to me. I completely understand. Like even if you didn't have this, I feel like if I were to do what you do, I'd be like, give me a minute.
Give me a minute.
Just a minute.
So with that, with me like doing high energy, I feel like I can't sustain a whole like set playing super hard. So I'm like, okay, well, what can I do and not just be like having like the worst time? I just like feel the music and I need to start moving. And I think it makes me play maybe a little sloppy sometimes, but it's like I choose the passion over the perfection.
Oh,
you know?
Absolutely. I've always said if I want to listen to a band, like I'll just listen to them on my phone. But like when I go to a show, like I want to see something different. Like do a little different variations in your song. Like I want to see the drummer go fucking ape shit. I want to see the guitarist throw his guitar around. You know, like that's the type of stuff I want to see. Like I'm paying to see you play. Like I bought your album already. I know your songs are good. Now impress me, you know?
Yeah, no, I feel you.
So
that's how I feel about the band Acacia Strain. I know you guys know that band.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't fond of them on record, but then I like went on that tour and I saw them every day. I've seen them before and they were good, but every day I was like, they just nonstop energy and they're just so tight. And I was like, they've been playing music for like 30 years.
Yeah. And to keep going.
And that's fucking crazy. So they're just now kind of like an inspiration to me, not musically, but just as people. And like how they've continuously just fought. And you know, they're older and they are very humble for everything they do. And I don't know. Inspirational for sure.
I have never heard a bad story about Vincent. Like never. From what I've heard, he's the nicest guy in the world. Except when you call him Vince, I heard he doesn't like that. But
oh, well, yeah, I accidentally, my phone corrected it recently. Like I reached out to him for something. And recently my phone corrected Vincent to Vince. And I was like, oh my God. I had to say like right away, like, I am so sorry.
So
like,
that's a real thing. Like that's not like, a myth, like an urban legend.
No, well, I don't think he won't get really mad, but it was an accident. I was like, I don't want to call. That's like my mom. She doesn't like being called Peggy. And it's just a thing. So I was like, I didn't want to disrespect someone by using the wrong name.
Yeah, well, I feel that too. Because everybody calls me Philly. And they're like,
Philly.
Isn't that weird? Like, doesn't that sound like a little kid? Like, no, I don't know. I'm just used to it. Like, if you call me Philip, I think I'm in trouble.
Philip.
Yeah, don't call me that. Don't call me that.
Philip.
But yeah, that's so crazy. Acacia Strain is definitely one of the better bands I've seen live too, and like his vocals are so spot on. They're insane.
Oh, 100%. Like everything about that band is just. They're great. Yeah. I don't know.
And there's a couple artists, like, not talking shit, but, like, it's that style of screaming is so demanding. And I've always, like, even back in the day, I'm think like, you know, like, how can they continue to do this for the rest of their lives? And some of them haven't been able to, but like
Ollie Sykes, bro.
exactly. Like they had to switch in genres. Like,
Yeah, because he had to get like a throat surgery, I
Yeah.
think.
Asking Alexandria, Danny couldn't really keep up with it, but like
Yeah.
people like Vincent, Phil Bozeman, like just
Caleb
destroy
Shomo.
it. Yeah, like
They've been doing it for forever, but I feel like they just have like a good technique, you know?
yeah.
I feel like, I don't know, they pace themselves and they know what's straining their voice and what's not, which is good, you know?
Yeah, it's just crazy that some of these guys, like, I props them for continue to going, but like at what point, like, do you realize you're doing more harm than good?
There's so many bands that like were exceptional bands back in the day that just fell off because their vocalists couldn't keep up anymore.
Yeah. I can name a few, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
We're gonna stay respectful.
Keep it at that.
But like, so speaking of back in the day, was there like a moment for you, like where you realized like, oh, we're not a local band anymore, like we're doing it, like we kind of made it?
I would never say we've ever made it, but I get the question. I think the first time that I was like, okay, cool, we're actually starting to like progress was just that Traders tour in 2019. I think that was just a huge stepping stone for us. And then, you know, we ended up doing that run with like Last 10 and Black Tongue and Inhale Fall With, and just like bigger bands that have been on like huge tours, you know? So it's just, it was a small step to like progress and something that I was like, finally, the work is paying off.
Did you, because even with us, like we've been not in a slump, but like it's hard because you kind of hit that wall and then you're like, all right, like what do we do now? Like how like, was there like a definitive, like you hit the wall and there was like an either we continue and put more effort into this or we quit? Like, did you guys have that moment?
Other members in the band did, and they ended up quitting. But me, I just always had this vision of continuing. And the thing is, it's like the industry is so weird, and I'm so like, I'm not even involved really in the industry, but some bands will just take off quick and other bands legit take like 10 years. Like I Am was a band for like 10 years before they started getting any kind of traction, and that band's incredible. And so I think people just have certain expectations too fast and they don't have the patience. And I don't know. And so for me, I was like, I'm just going to be patient and try to be consistent. And I think consistency is what people look for eventually in building a solid foundation of like a fan base, you know?
Yeah.
So I never hit that wall, thankfully, but I've wanted to quit due to just like being discouraged, but not like a wall of I want to quit playing music. It was mostly just like I'm putting in so much effort myself that I needed to find like a new group, pretty much.
Are you the only original?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I didn't want to sound like an idiot.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, John was in the band for Volume 1, but he played bass and he was kind of like a new addition. So, but he's technically not an original member. I'm the only one. And I think, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, well, let's just keep original members like throughout the thing. I think if you do that and it's like straining the relationship, like you should just go your separate ways.
Yeah,
because when you bring in a fresh person, they're like, they kind of bring that excitement more back for you. You know, when we made the vocal switch and then when like our guitarist Ryan joined the band, it just like kind of gave me like a new boost. I was like, cool, I don't have to do this strictly on my own. And we all kind of have the same like mindset and what we want to do now. And when you're all on the same page, it makes it just so much better.
So is
like
that
more fluid?
Is that I'm not saying like I don't know the other band members. We've only talked to you. So like, do you ever like get like your excitement level is through the fucking roof because like this is your child, you know, like your creation. And like, do you ever get mad at them? Like if their excitement doesn't match yours, like motherfucker, like let's go, come on.
I used to, yeah. I think now, Ryan and I really, really bounce back ideas and stuff, and he gets more hyped even on like music that he writes more than me, and so it's just nice. I think he's just super involved. John, he's always working and stuff, so it's not that he's not as excited. It's just he's got to pay bills, you know, he's got to pay rent. We're all getting older, so it's a different circumstance now than when we first started, but it's still like we hear the album back and we're like, yo, this was still sick. Like even like listening to older material, I still get amped about that. So yeah.
I think that's awesome. So like a lot of bands, like when they release a new album, I mean obviously July 10th is going to focus on the new album because, you know, it's the release show for it. But like when you do tours, do you do the whole like we're playing 75% of the newest album and then we'll just pick and choose from the other albums, or do you guys play like everything?
For the CD release show, we're gonna be playing like everything.
Yeah.
Yes, like that show's gonna be like every form and stage of Victims. Like that's what's gonna be fun about it. But like for tours, usually we just do the songs that one we enjoy playing, two that's like popular on our Spotify list, or three that are just fun live. I feel like you hear songs on records that you're like, oh, that's kind of a dud. But then you hear it live, you're like, okay, no, this song is awesome to play live, just not as cool to listen to. And sometimes there's songs vice versa, so it really just depends.
Because I don't know if you listen to Beartooth, but they just released that single Devastation, and I was like, I like this song, but like that song live is going to sound so much better. Like, there's just certain songs that do like they're meant to be live songs, 100%.
No, I totally agree. And the last song we just put out, like How Is Other People, like the heavy song.
Oh, that's a live song.
That's a lot. People are like, why is this so slow? Why is this and that? I'm like, we literally wrote that song for when shows come back, and we're like, we want people to be violent. Okay, like that's why that song is on the record.
That's a perfect example. Yeah, like that song is so good. I like the little promotional video you did too with Stone Cold.
Oh yeah, I just put that up yesterday with the chairs. Yeah. I was like, what can I make that's just like stupid that will match this song? It's perfect. And I was like, dude, I love Stone Cold. I love wrestling. So I was like, let me look up the best WWE, WWF matches right now. And like I saw that one. One was like a SmackDown. It was like the episode of SmackDown, and I think the other one was one of the pay-per-views. And it's like, dude, this was perfect.
It was perfect. It fits so well. It came together so well. And I think like the hardcore scene is like, hardcore people also love wrestling.
Dude, that used to be drowning shows. Remember that, Paul? The chairs and like putting through tables. Yep.
I took a fucking symbol to the face at that show.
Dude, yeah, Tim was like fucking carrying the symbol. You see it in the video, like the 1017 one, and he just like swings.
That whole night was insane.
Paul,
dude, it was.
It's so funny because this happened so many years ago. But my current girlfriend,
oh, no.
at the show,
I know where this is going.
We played called Unrest in the Midwest. It was with like
yeah, I know the Stager show, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
My current girlfriend was sitting behind our merch booth, and Paul was getting his ass beat, and decided to throw someone into the merch table.
Oh
and
my
the merch
God,
table
dude.
Pushed up against my girlfriend and broke her ribs.
Oh my God, dude. Obviously that was an accident. Holy fuck.
100% accident. I was literally getting jumped and I was just defending myself.
It's just so funny because like Paul brought that up and I was like, holy shit, that really did happen. And it's like, it's just so crazy that like That's what hardcore shows are, though.
Dude, I got a fractured jaw in a show. Remember Ben?
It was during No Zodiac when that happened.
Of course, no fucking Zoe, dude, no
Cause
Zoe.
every time I saw No Zodiac, it was fair game.
Oh yeah, well, we did it. We did some shows with them, and you could tell fucking Nick. He's been playing for so long that he just got that like the Chicago mentality. They live in Arizona now, I think, but such sweet guys. But if you fuck with them, like good luck, like
literally,
good luck. So
that was always not talking shit about the scene, but for me personally, when I go, I want to see the shows. So like I'm glad for this show you guys have like tables and reserved seating. So I'm like, yes, me as a 140-pound man isn't going to get my ass beat.
Oh yeah. So people had a question with that. They're like, oh, so is GA in the back? Because I feel like the way it says on the tickets, it's like weird. But there's gonna be tables like in the back, and then the people in the front, and then there's like a side booth thing that's like VIP. But I saw like a recent video. It looked pretty cool. Like. Definitely not what it's different from what I'm used to, but I think it'll be chill. I think the tables are going to be there to kind of push everybody up front, kind of.
Yeah.
So the show doesn't look, because only 20% of the capacity can be there.
Yeah.
So it won't look like tiny,
That's smart too, and it'll look better in videos and all that.
Exactly.
So, you're going from a venue that has 600 cap to, 150,
I know.
You want
It
everybody.
sucks.
And that's the thing too, is we're really big into EDM. We did the whole streaming stuff, and we're all just sitting on couches like, yeah, this is cool. But you don't have that feeling of being in a crowd. I miss it so much.
Actually, brings me up to a question I had for you. Even the last time when we did this, how do you feel about all the venues in the Chicagoland area just shutting down, even pre-COVID?
We haven't had venues here, I feel like, in years.
Yeah.
And so it just it sucks because I feel like the scene, there's less bands now, and not that the scene's struggling, because it's not, but back in the day, there was able to be a local show every week. And people were like, cool, I'm going to go out to this venue at the Art Spot in Wheaton. I'm going to go to fucking KOC. I'm going to go to Rainbow Falls. I'm going to go to the Metro. I'm going to go to the Bartlett Fire Barn, Hoosier Grove Barn. Yeah, and they're all gone.
Yeah.
And
the list. Just think of the small venues that we went to. All of those are gone.
Yeah. I know.
The only one that exists from our era is Mojo's,
and it's not Mojo,
and it's the Forge now.
Yeah,
the tree.
the tree.
It's so different too now.
Yeah,
it's cool. It's still cool though,
it's
but no, it's different, but it's still a venue at least. Yeah. Bottom Lounge is become my new favorite, honestly.
I always love Bottom Lounge.
Bottom Lounge is so cool. We were actually gonna do our CD release there. But wasn't really sure they're gonna be open or not, and what's the deal with that. So that's why we ended up going to WC Social, because first of all, it's in our hometown. Chicago isn't our hometown. We're in the burbs. And two, Chicago's rules are just stricter.
They're really strict.
Yeah.
It was weird. Me and Paul went up there. Paul and I went up there a couple months ago, and it was like a ghost town. It was so weird.
And it was right when all the election shit was going on, so all the buildings had boards on it and everything. I was like, man, I feel like we're post-apocalypse right now.
Dude,
creepy as shit.
Just empty. It's I Am Legend.
We were walking down I'm talking main strips State Street, Michigan Ave, and I could probably count the people that were out there with us on my hands.
Yeah.
Well, we actually shot a video near Michigan Ave in June, and yeah, it was empty because it was the day before is when some place got looted and stuff, all the protests were happening and stuff like that. Yeah. And I don't even remember, obviously it was after George Floyd, but there was something else that happened, and then it caused another huge protest in the city. But it was a ghost town. Like everything was boarded up, like the Mac store or whatever the hell else, and nobody was walking. And so I was like, damn, I can get used to this.
Chicago was beautiful with nobody around. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
dude, you could actually walk.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say I don't enjoy people because I started a podcast to talk to people. But
Yeah.
it was so nice when nobody was on the road and like I didn't have to wait for anything. Now everybody's out again.
I know, no, and the gas is like so expensive. Like we were talking about that today. Like gas is gonna be probably like $4, $4.50 at the like middle of the summer.
Yeah.
because it's already
like it.
$3.20 or something like that.
Yep.
It's looking
And
I can't even like to get into Hooters. It's like a 2-hour wait, and like I love Hooters. Like, come on, I don't want to wait 2 hours to eat Hooters.
2 hours?
Yeah, I'll buy us.
We went to Top Golf, and it was how
Oh, Top.
Top
I
Golf
heard.
was like a 4-hour wait.
Yeah, no, I heard about that Top Golf. They have one in Schaumburg, which
Yep.
is kind of near
we
me.
were just up there.
Yeah,
That's
and
literally where we were. They said 4
it's packed.
hours.
yep.
4 hours.
Well, I mean, I get it though. Everybody wants to do something now.
I know, but it's like a blessing and curse because it's like no.
Yeah, because it's nice to see it,
Freedom.
but it was nice when it was just me.
Yep. It's like I want the privilege back.
Yeah, it was nice, and like I work in an essential place, so like I was out every day, and like I'd walk into stores and there'd be nobody there. Like, yeah, I could really get used to this, and I did.
And I did, and now it's like people are gonna be back, and you're like, who are you?
I'm like waiting in line, and I'm thinking to myself like,
Oh,
are you
God.
essential? Should you be out right? Should you be outside right now? But
I remember when that first like came out, and I made my boss like make sure he wrote us notes that said like we were essential employees, because I heard rumors that like they were pulling people over on the road and like asking if you were
What?
essential. So Joliet specifically, where I lived, was like
Oh, okay.
a hot spot. Like there were cooler trucks in the Walmart parking lot. Like, it was bad by me. So like I was like, yo, you gotta make sure we have like some note or some shit. And like I remember I went to a store and someone asked me if I was an essential, and I was like,
Here's my note. Slap it down.
that's how I feel the COVID vaccine card is.
Yep, dude, you literally read my mind. I was like,
Blueprint.
no, please. I don't want to like. I forget. Sometimes you even forget your ID or whatever. It's like, imagine like you go somewhere, and you're like 5 hours away, and you forgot your vaccine card, and you're like, oh, well.
absolutely, like my girlfriend
fuck me.
doesn't bring anything with her ever. So like we couldn't even go to the bar the other day because she was like, well, I don't have an ID.
I don't have my ID.
Come on. What are you doing?
Dude.
I always forget a mask as it is. We're a year into this.
Dude, no, I know. You were a year in, and I'll have mask in my car, but then I'll go in a friend's car. I'm like, oh my God, I don't have a mask. Because, like, I just leave, like, a huge just pack of them in my car.
Yeah, I have 30 on my table, but like,
And you just, like, forget. You think it's, like, second nature, but it's still not, you know? Wait, do I have one near me? I do. Wait, right in the pack, bro. Right in the pack.
did you guys ever do face masks for victims?
We did. They were kind of flimsy, though. And now there's cool ones. Now you can make, like, badass masks. But when we first did the drop, they were kind of, like, more flimsy. And I even felt bad. I was like, this did not turn out the way that I wanted to.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I still feel most comfortable wearing, like, these.
Like the fabric ones?
No, it's like the NSTs or whatever.
The neoprene shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
For the longest time, I just did the bandana because it looked cool.
Yeah, cool. Let's ride.
Yep. I felt like such an outlaw just going into stores. Like, am I gonna rob you or am I just here to buy milk? Never know.
Who knows anymore?
That was always one of my biggest things, was when we had the pandemic going on, we had riots, we had looting and everything else, and they're like, but make sure you wear a mask.
It's like, yeah, there's more important things going on right now, but I mean, right now, just think about a masks. But
Yeah, it's been a really really weird time, but you guys have held on, and I'm so glad.
To buy a thread.
I'm so excited for this show. Like, especially the three of us, we always talk about it because like we've all always gone to shows. That's been a thing, you know, forever. Like, man, I'm counting down the days where I know one of my favorite artists is playing. You know what I mean? Like, when are we going? When is it happening? So it's like,
Dude,
imagine how you feel being able to finally play.
that dude. I was like, oh my god, a show. Like, and now we have to practice because we practice for the live streams, but like. That's like one thing, but now we're gonna have to do like a few practices a week probably. And I'm like, oh my god, backtracks. I'm gonna have to do this and to do that. It's like I have to get new heads, new like tubes and all this stuff. It's like I'm just not used to that, you know?
Gotta get back
You fell out of the swing.
Yeah.
Took completely out of the swing. I think that touring, like the show's gonna be cool, but touring, I'm gonna be like, how on earth is this just gonna like be? I don't know. That first tour is gonna be rough, dude. Everything.
All the restrictions
No,
from each state.
Each state.
Yeah,
You know,
dude,
you're gonna go. You're gonna be.
suck.
You're gonna be in Florida. You're like, oh, no one's wearing a mask, and then you're gonna be like, up, back to New York. Yo, 20% of capacity. You can't do this and that. Like, I don't know. It is gonna be weird.
You gotta walk on
fluctuation
the whole tour.
for real.
I'm just glad because Beartooth and Wage War, they're going on tour.
I saw that. Yeah.
I'm so excited. It's like 3 days for my birthday. So
Nice. It's in September
my
now.
birthday. Yeah.
You're what?
It's in.
We don't celebrate that. Peasant.
I think it's in Peoria, but no, I'm excited that these bands are starting to set up tours again. So I'm excited.
Sorry, I hear background noise at my house.
For the longest
They're like
time,
watching TV.
Is that us?
No, it's like TV and stuff. But
no, you're good.
but
Are they watching anything good?
oh, the Cubs are on.
Oh, nice.
Here we go. No, it's 0-0, I guess.
Oh, it's so
It just started. But anyway,
What is new that we can expect from Victims in the future?
what do you mean?
Like, so obviously,
Everything.
Obviously, you guys have released a couple of singles and stuff. Do you plan on doing another music video before the album comes out?
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely we have like something else. We have something else up our sleeve here. We also have something else that's no one's gonna expect this. I'm telling you, like, it's not
top cover.
no, it's. ZZ Top, ain't it? LaGrange.
That would be so sick. Like I expect to hear that. Like a Victims LaGrange cover.
Now I like want to open up with that just because.
Please do.
Some just straight open
And
chords.
then you show
That would be
halftime at dude.
There you go. We don't want any credit for it. Just we
Like, all right,
we just want to see it.
just want to hear it live. No, we do have something else we're doing that people are gonna be like, why? But also like, this is sick. I hope. But we have that like 2 things that I'm super excited about, and then we might just drop another single just cause that's kind of how I am. I'm like, oh, I'm feeling frisky today. Drop a freaking song.
I love that.
But-
Like that's because you're independent, so you have the ability to do.
I know.
But like I see that from the band page and stuff. Like, oh, you just got a wild hair up your ass to drop a song. Like, I think
It's like,
that's
I'm
awesome that you.
feeling it right now. Let's drop a song.
I love it. I love that you do that. It's
Just
awesome.
wake up in the morning and you're like, you know what? Today's the fucking day.
No, with that, I feel like people look at us like, man, this isn't professional. It's like, but we're independent. It's not always about just
See, to me,
the professional approach.
I
But
think that's more professional in my opinion because you have control. You don't have someone puppeteering you and your band as to what you need to do.
True.
I get
It's
it.
all us.
I get the whole, like, because most bands, you know, they have an album ready to go and they have everything prepared and ready. They have single drop days. I get it. It's less stressful when it, like, you come at that angle. But, like, I don't know. You have, like, this mystique. Like,
Mystique.
are they going to drop a single today? Are they
That's
gonna drop
true.
merch today?
It's like more excited. I don't. Okay, so now I feel like the new thing is everyone warns everybody when it's like something's going to happen.
Yes.
Like a week in advance, just so people get their stuff ready. Well, I hate that.
You
I
do it
love.
the night before.
I know. No, I'm like, no, we're doing it today. Like I want to do a merch drop. We're doing a new item tomorrow. Like,
Literally, that's what I did with In Bloom towards the end. Is like I didn't tell anybody what it was when it was happening or anything like that. Just release it. If people want it, it's there.
it just seems. I don't know. I want to do what not everyone's doing.
Absolutely.
And so that's one thing. It's like, oh, we're gonna drop new merch today. Maybe we'll drop a new song tomorrow.
Yeah.
Who
Well, and
knows?
I think that is what's gotten you to where you are, and that's what starts the saying, oh, they're doing it like victims. Oh, they sound like victims.
Oh,
So I think you're doing a great job.
thank you, thank you.
You don't mean it.
I don't mean it. Whisk me away,
No, and that's another,
liar.
that's another thing about you too, is like I would just get on a call with you and talk with you because you are so humble with
Thank you.
with the whole you're lying again.
I can't. That's the new
lying.
thing, man.
Stop lying.
Stop lying. Stop lying.
And you're so humble, and like it's so weird getting this chance to talk to you and then like listening to like the split album you guys did with like listening to I Am Death and like that's the same fucking person.
Death.
Like it's great. Or like the song you guys dropped today, Hell Is Other People. Like she's in that band.
I know. People go, you hang out with those people, you hang out with this person. It's like I'm kind of the jack of all trades. I feel like I'll go anywhere with anybody because there's just so many things that I like and I like to talk about. And I don't know. Music is one entity of me, but I feel like I just have a lot of different things that I like to talk about. So
I think it's great. And I think that makes the best well-rounded person. Like it really does. And it makes you interesting as fuck to talk to. So
well, that's good. Wait. Well, that's good.
there you go. Get some attitude. But no, I mean we've stolen you for about an hour. We don't want to take up too much of your time. We know you got a busy schedule and
No, like this has been great for sure. Like we've been really just talking. That's why I like podcasts with people that I know.
yeah,
Because
it makes it so much more comfortable.
it's not like awkward or anything. So
Yeah, well, that's why it was kind of a short decision to have Paul on here because we were like, well, she knows Paul really well. And Nick came in late, so we were like, fuck it, he can sit in the corner for this one.
nobody puts baby in the corner.
But no, we're super, super excited. And I actually have a question to ask you when we get off, too. That
Okay.
It's kind of like an idea we've been kicking around doing that if you're into, we would love to do. And it's
Paul's like,
because it's mostly Paul that has to do the work, so.
oh, he's like, oh, great.
But yeah, no, we're super excited to see you guys. July 10th. Where's it at?
West Chicago Social.
Awesome. We will put the socials and buy tickets if it's not sold out by the time this episode comes out.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't even know what this. I know a 175 or 200 people can go. I think that's the cap. I haven't checked where the tickets are right now. I don't want to do that to myself right now. I'm just gonna wait till we announce the lineup, and then I'll wait in June to check how many people are going. But
It might be sold out by then.
we'll see. I'm always like, this is the first show back. I have no idea what to expect anymore.
Yeah, because like you said, there are some people that are, well, it's not worth the risk yet. So
Yeah, exactly. And some people just shouldn't risk it either.
Absolutely.
Like I almost feel like, should I risk it? But I will like, so you have COVID, whatever, the 3-month period or whatever. So it'll be about like 3 months when that show happens. So hopefully everything will be well and dandy still. But
I think it'll all work out. And I think it's going to be a good time. You don't have to stress too much. Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
I'm very excited to see what's in store for you guys, especially because I know touring is what's going to be the most difficult for you specifically. So I'm excited. I can't wait to see who's going to be under you guys on the next tour.
Oh, yeah, right. No. But that'd be sick. Maybe I just won't show up anymore. COVID, be like, all right, well, I'm too sick to go. I'll be like, all right.
That's what they had, what did DL do that for Casey Strain for a while? He just did all their studio work.
And Kevin is the drummer now.
Is he? I honestly couldn't even tell you any members of any bands recently.
Well, I didn't know Kevin was an original. See, I don't know who's. I know the Devin is original and Vincent is original.
Mm-hmm.
Tom is new. I think Griffin is new too, but I didn't know if Kevin was original or not. That's a drummer. So.
We learned so much about the ins of Acacia Strain today.
Yeah, well, the new one is actually. The Acacia Strain had a drummer, Matt Guglielmo, who actually also filled in for Spite. He was the one who mixed our record.
No shit. The Volume 4?
Yeah.
It sounds amazing. He killed it.
No, he's from Jersey, and he's really cool. He's done a lot of like different records. He's done like the drums on not the drums, but mixing the drums on Viart's record, I'm pretty sure. And he works alongside Will Putney. So
I actually know who that is.
There you go.
So we'll wrap it up here. Thank you so much again for doing this with us.
And no breaks. The last time it kept stopping. I told you.
There has been no problems. Everything has worked.
Good.
I'm like kind of giving myself anxiety, and that's another reason I want to stop it because I don't want it to get fucked up.
That's true. It's like.
Yeah.
My hands. I'm shaking.
I was tweaking out before we got on. Like, Paul, this cannot fuck up. Like, this cannot fuck up.
Not again.
Yes.
Third time's the charm.
She'll hate us. She'll never do this again with us.
It's like, all right, guys.
Throw in the towel. We're done. We'll see you July 10th.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for doing this again. We really appreciate it. We're excited to see what's going to happen for you next. And, I'll definitely be there July 10th.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me, and I can't wait to see you guys on July 10th. It's going to be a banger.
Absolutely. Nick, pop in and say goodbye.
What's going on?
What's going on?
You still have yet to miss a podcast.
All right, so we'll end it here. Meredith, don't go nowhere.
Goodbye, everybody.